Picture this, Dokkaners. You are not on social media. You don't watch content creators. You just play the game on your own. You decide to indulge a little bit in burst mode, and you inadvertently come across a flawed dev unit that was automatically given to you by randomly searching. And now you find this notice in your home screen where they talk about how you might possibly be suspended. How would you feel? I'm just trying to think about those players who are very much off the grid players, because there's a sizable contingent of Dokkaners who don't watch any creators, don't watch any videos, don't follow social media. How are they going to feel when they see something like this? It's mind-boggling how poorly they've executed this whole situation. Anyway, folks, Global Dokkan has responded to the burst mode situation on global, so we're going to go ahead and read this, and then I will provide my thoughts and opinions on this. I don't think there's cause for concern for those of you who have done this, because this is something that quite literally almost every player has done, because they didn't know about it until it was too late, or they might have seen a video. So let's just discuss this. Dear players, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Currently, actually, let me start off by reading this. Look at the audacity that they have to frame it like this. Improper behavior that raises character stats. Improper behavior? We played your game. There's nothing improper about that, unless that's not supposed to be done. We're not supposed to play your game. Currently, an issue has been found where the stats of a friend character have been raised due to actions that violate terms of service. Please be aware that the accounts of any users found conducting improper behavior by exploiting this issue may be suspended due to having violated the terms of service. Once an account has been suspended, they will not be able to log in or play. Please check the terms of service and enjoy the game while following the rules. So let's just stop right here and address this. This is factually incorrect. No player has violated terms of service because no player manually or intentionally induced this glitch that took place on burst mode. For those of you who are not in the know, if you didn't watch my burst mode explainer video, I made sure the video was first off an explainer piece on how burst mode works, because I still wanted this to be an actual tutorial on how to do the event. And I did. I gave you the step-by-step process on how to set up your multipliers, your skulls or whatever. I show you how to run through the event team assembly, and then we actually jump in. And as you see in my video, I too inadvertently stumble across this crazy glitch where the Dev Kaioken LR Goku unit is so overly broken that he solos the entire event. So I put together my team, I auto-generate the friend unit, which ends up being the Kaioken Goku. Looks like they've changed it. It no longer shows up the Goku, it shows the Frieza. But this unit right here, this is the one that I picked. The Dev, oh, did they fix it? The Dev LR Kaioken, it had plus 99999 on all stats. As you normally see, like plus 5,000, plus 5,400, it was showing all nines. I didn't realize this until after I already did it, as did most people. Not many people knew going in unless they saw a video that this was in fact going on. And even once they found out, they still did it. Why? Because they have done nothing wrong. This was something that was inherently flawed in the design of burst mode that they themselves caused on their own, they being Global Dokkan developers. But instead, they are proceeding to blame the global players by framing it in this way. Now, to play devil's advocate, it may not necessarily be a blame game sort of situation here. It could simply be the corporate platitudes that they like to do on these sorts of announcements, right? They deal in absolutes. They like to be very concise in how they address these situations. So they're calling it a terms of service violation to be very, very precise and like establish their position on it, and to also frame this letter in a way that like they're very serious about it. They're not happy, understandably so. They're not happy that players got unfair scores, but this isn't something that ultimately impacts the entire community, like in a way where like if you use the glitch, you're top 1% in the world, you get extra rewards or anything like that. Every player did this and then they benefited on their own. It didn't affect any other player. So in terms of this being like a violation, cheating and all that stuff, I don't agree, but this is probably why they're framing it that way, just to be very serious about it. Now, the way that they say this, accounts of any users found conducting improper behavior by exploiting this issue may be suspended, has some people thinking they are going to be banned. You are not going to be banned. And if you are, then basically 99% of the player base will be banned. That's not going to happen. This situation also took place during the airplane mode situation, which I'm not going to go into too much detail over, but there was also an exploit that I think, objectively speaking, between this one and that one, there was a little bit more extracurricular activity involved in establishing that glitch on the airplane mode. So on that one, there was more cause for concern because people actually did steps to go out of their way to facilitate it. But even then, it's due to the fault of Dokkan to allow such a glitch to occur. It's like the duping glitch in Pokemon Scarlet Violet. They did not develop their game properly, allowing players to actually dupe their items in the game, clone their Pokemon. they're not getting banned for it. It doesn't impact anybody else. Actually, it actually has more of an impact on other people because you can trade. So, you know, there was a lot more consequence on that game, but they didn't do anything. So it's the same sort of situation here. And I think the way that they're framing this is more of a, if you do this from now on sort of thing. So my advice for those of you who are scared about this situation, who think you might be suspended, first of all, you're not going to be. I'm confident you're not going to be suspended. None of us will be. But if you are trying to still do burst mode and you're trying to do it the legitimate way, which I also talk about in my video, then do so using a normal friend unit. Stay away from the dev unit, because even though it appears to be fixed, this could simply be a visual fix. Maybe the actual core design or the core unit's stats are still inherently flawed. Who knows? So if I were you, I would stay away from the dev unit. Simply just use a friend unit that has all of the nodes active. And if you're wondering what the dev unit basically is, it is a friend unit, but it's like been immortalized that you can use repeatedly. So this is something that a lot of players often do because they don't want to burn up their other precious friend units. They would rather just use the infinite one as much as they possibly can. But since this one is currently glitched, I would stay away from that, because I think what they're trying to basically say is if there is still a problem with the unit and you proceed to still consciously do it in spite of their warning, then they will take you out. So stay away from that. And if you don't have an LR Kaioken yourself, and if you cannot find a friend unit that is a Rainbow Kaioken, then unfortunately you're probably just going to have to wait this one out when it comes to burst mode and just avoid the event altogether. The fact that we have to do this again is a massive disappointment, and this is completely done entirely by the global Dokkan developers. They caused this whole mess, and they are perpetuating it by causing this fear amongst the community. So just stay away if you're not sure. Yeah, you're going to miss out on 9 Dragon Stones, 10 Dragon Stones, but it's better than feeling like you've lost your account. I don't want people to sit around thinking for months or weeks, which is exactly what happened with the airplane mode. People were just sitting around in fear for so long, thinking they're going to get banned. Why should I keep playing? Ultimately, they never said anything. They just said they're going to take out accounts. And then after that, nothing came of it. So even to this day, there's probably 1 or 2 unfortunate souls out there who are sitting there wondering, why haven't I been banned yet? Why am I still playing this game? I'm going to be banned. What's the point? So I don't agree the way that they've handled this. This has been incredibly irresponsible, so bad. But I will say that this last part is more than fair. For the ongoing burst mode, we plan to invalidate scores attained using the friend character with raised stats. This is okay. This I completely understand, because, you know, we got this through unfair means. Not that it was our fault, but we did get our scores through unfair means. So if they revoke this for those of us who inadvertently did get those high scores, that's more than okay. We can still do this a legitimate way, as I proceed to mention in my video. The video that I made was to inform you on how the event works. It can still be done legit. You obviously cannot use the dev friend unit, but you can still do this the legitimate way. It will take you multiple attempts. It is a trial and error sort of thing. And that is what people dislike about the event, which we'll get to in another video entirely. But you can still do it as long as your Rainbow LR Kaioken Goku, hopefully with a full power Omega Shenron on that same rotation, and with all items set up appropriately. If the Kaioken Goku launches 2 critical supers, then you can definitely take out the Vegeta. If that doesn't happen, other things may have to go your way for it to occur, but it will take some trials. So if you guys want to do this the legitimate way, I urge you to do so. Try to do so using the team setup that I've shown you either here or in my previous video. Perhaps go watch other videos on the matter and try to do it the normal way. Or if you just want to wait until burst mode is completely ended and the next season comes back, you can try it out then. In the meantime, folks, please don't be scared. It's not fair that they did this to us the way that they did, but I want you guys to remember that you are not at fault here. This is entirely on Dokkan's own end. They should not have screwed this up as badly as they did, and they should definitely not have said this to the player base, because I just can't imagine how it would feel to be a player who doesn't follow social media, who doesn't follow video or creators, to see this and then just be left alone wondering, am I going to play anymore? That's not all right. So that's going to be it. That's my rant. I'm done. I'm going to go do something else for right now. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your own honest opinions about this whole situation. Let's be civil in the comments. This is all entirely on the global Dokkan developers end. This is not something that we did. What are your thoughts on the situation? Do you think it's fair that players should be suspended? Do you think it's not fair? What do you think about burst modes, the high scores being revoked for those who did use the inadvertent glitch? Do you think that that is also fair or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, let's be civil. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.